succeeding. Right, so
Fox just being a little bitch again.
attempt number 2. You escape with. Oh, go ahead.
If this is to recognize the dragon eggs, I have a +2, so that might still not be enough.
21. That's probably enough. Question is, do you want to?
I think Golem wants to. He's turning out pretty lawful good-ish.
I thought you were just going to start with pretty. He's turning out pretty.
He's doing that too. Golem just wakes up. Why are you carrying a blue dragon egg?
It's not blue.
It is quite literally blue.
Derp.
They are not blue. I have messaged you everything there.
Okay. Well, now I'm having the paladin problem of how much of a buzzkill.
All my text on the side disappeared.
Yeah, I cleared it.
Oh, okay.
You couldn't stand to see us having fun and talking.
That's correct. And also, I didn't want people to talk about. I don't know. Fuck you.
Oh, I see.
So, with the dragon hatchery destroyed, cleared out, and the cultists all gone, you have information that heads you towards Elturel, should you wish to continue your mission against the cult. That's where they're heading, and that. Sorry, it's not where they're heading. That's where Leosin said he was heading after you all went into the place. He set off ahead and is going to Elturel to meet with members of his cool gang. They're called the CKC, the Cool Kids Club. That's all you're allowed to know. Oh yeah.
Why is he in it?
Oh, sick burn. You penis. So yeah, if you want to head to Elturel, you can. If you want to head back to Greenest, return the few meager trinkets that you've recovered from this bandit camp, you can certainly do the same. Greenest is much closer, of course, than Elturel, if that's something you wanted to do. Otherwise, you can just keep all the stuff and fuck off, do whatever. You are in the world of the Sword Coast. Do what you like.
I'd like to open an eatery of some description.
I think we should continue to try to stop the cult of these dragon people.
I will note as well, the route to Elturel will have you heading close to Greenest, so it's not like you're heading really far out of your way to swing by Greenest if you want to be nice people and return all the little bits and pieces. You found some jewelry and some other things. A little bit of gold, that sort of stuff if you want to. Otherwise, yeah, you can maybe save 5 or 6 hours and continue straight to Elturel, traveling along along to the river of Chiontha. I pronounce words.
That sounds correct.
Here's your big map. I don't know what that token is, but let's pretend it's the. Just pretend it's the people.
Wait a minute. I remember that token.
Don't know what you're talking about. It's the first token that pops up on my token list, so I use it for friggin' everything. That's my default token list, so it gets used a lot. It's supposed to be an empty bird cage. Who'd have thunk it?
Ah! Oh, I threw it.
I thought it was a shield this whole time.
Yeah,
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I thought so too.
it's very Asterix and the Chieftain's Shield. Chieftain's Shield. Yeah. As you're deciding, or perhaps heading back, and still on the bit of travel where you could go either way, Gollum quickly finds a moment to chat with Morgite away from the others. The eggs probably loaded onto one of the wagons that you managed to find in the camp left behind, safely tucked away. Morgite, perhaps you'd be probably around keeping them safe, and Gollum would easily be able to get your egg.
Nesting on them.
Oh my god. Alright. Gollum, you find Morgite nesting on the eggs.
What? How did you?
That's a sight nobody needed to imagine.
Morgite, I have faith in you, which is why I'm asking you directly. What is your plan with those black dragon eggs?
Do you want me to lie to you or tell the truth?
If you tell the truth, I suspect I know what you're going to say. And
Excellent.
if you lie to me, I suspect I know what you're going to lie about.
Well, you see, they are probably worth quite a lot of money to the right people, yes? So the plan A is to see if this Leo Sinfala and all of his friends would like to buy them, to stop them getting into the hands of the dragon cult. If not, then I sell them to the dragon cult. Nope, that is the extent of my plan A.
Are they worth the ire of a black dragon when they find out you've stolen their eggs?
See, plan B is we give them back to the black dragon and become their friend, and then we have a black dragon as our friend.
I don't think they're going to be in much of a mood for friendship after.
They will see what a fine job we are doing raising their children. We have saved them from the clutches of Europa and some terrible people that abandoned them in the cave. Yes, they abandoned them, and we are rescuing them because we are good people, bad people. We are people.
We rescued them, for we are people.
Look, I'm just hoping to profiteer off of the dragon cult, okay?
I don't think this is a matter of if this goes bad, simply when, but
Well, hopefully we offload them
I will
before
still
the
be
black
here for you
dragon
when it
finds
does.
us.
There's a roar of a black dragon.
And also, if a black dragon comes, I can rely on you to punch it in the face.
Reluctantly, I have to admit that yes, you can.
And who else would be able to say they have punched a black dragon in the face? Not many, I imagine.
Not many still alive.
That is a side point. I say to God.
Your little conscience just pointing things out. Just a satirical fucking voice in the back of your head. Oh, shit.
Alright, so
That's
Gollum's
perfect.
position on this is reserving rights to say I told you so, but also not going to betray Morgite.
I knew I could trust you. In fact, I will cut you in on the profits.
Morgite's position on this is one cheek on either side of the biggest egg. Oh, fantastic. Right, so...
Bad dragon, huh?
Well, these are black dragon eggs. I will turn into black dragon.
This story's taken a turn. Right. So, as you're travelling, the decision comes as you reach the main roads. Travelling a couple of hours back to the west will find you back at Greenest, or travelling to the east will find you on your way to El Terrell. Which way is the group going? I'm just going to do a quick vote. Unless anyone particularly has anything they want to discuss in character about it.
I mean, Golem's position is probably pretty clear. Prefers green.
Cool.
Which one is leads to Elturel?
East, sorry. East is Elturel.
East is more directly to Elturel.
Yeah.
Isn't Elturel north?
Yeah.
But
Could
if you look on the roads...
That's a plan C. Could we go to greenest and then just cut straight north to Elturel?
Yes? Just travelling off-road would be a bit longer.
Oh, you can just go up through Burdusk and Scornubble.
Well, that's the way that road would take you. You can see the path. You're basically coming in
that
above
was
the E of greenest. That's where you're heading the road. The first E. Cool. So there's a draw. I wonder what Aurelius would say. Probably, I'm gonna friggin' roll a dice. Odds, lefty, evens, righty. Alrighty, fuck greenest. Fuck all of them. Take their money and leave.
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, it's in keeping with more sheets.
I agree under protest.
And with that, you head on the road again. There's a lovely bit of art, give you an idea of how fun the travel certainly is. So, it's around a 200-mile journey from Greenest to Elturel.
Boy.
It's probably likely to take about 6 days. There is, of course, a number of roadside hotels, motels, inns, that sort of thing. Motels? I don't think motels exist. There are no motels, right? So no moat lodge. The first day, you roll me a d20 to tell me how you travel.
No, we don't.
I refuse, but I'll do it anyway. Bad things seem to happen.
Nah, nothing really occurs on the first several days, in fact. And you find yourself travelling through a few taverns, picking up a few tidbits of information. There's talk of a large group of bandits travelling around. A few people mention that, hell, there's going to be a posse coming out from... Oh, excuse me, I'm full of gas, burping all of the time. There's going to be a posse from Baldur's Gate come to sort out this roving band of bandits. And then someone else said, as if Baldur's Gate has got the time or resources to worry about what happens in a few small towns like this. There's a lot of people, probably, hopefully, latching on to any talk of proper response, but it's probably just talk. And you know that if there is any response coming down here, that the cults will be well out of this way long before anyone turns up. If there is actually going to be any sort of thing from Baldur's Gate, it's going to be far too late, far too little. Eventually, you arrive at Burdusk, and it's a small town. You travel through without much issue. Is there anything anyone wants to seek in the township of Burdusk? Is there any opportunity you want to explore? It's a population of around 15 to 20,000. It's probably large for a medieval city, but certainly no Baldur's Gate or what's the other one? Waterdeep.
Stupid question. What level are we and how much money do we have?
1 and none. No, you're I think level 5.
fill it for us. So let me fix that behind
Sweet.
the scenes while.
And money, everyone has around 1,000 to 1,200-ish changeable.
All right. With our bard not here, I would like to buy some healing potion.
Alrighty. You can easily find a place that will meet your shopping wishes. How many would you like to buy?
You know what? It's better to have too many than too few. How much are?
So you can buy a potion of cure moderate wounds or cure light wounds. Light wounds costs 20 gold pieces, which is a consumable. If you have a healing surge, you must spend one, but you instead gain 1d8 plus 1 hit points. If you're bloodied and don't have any healing surges, you can still regain the hit points. So if you're not bloodied, it's poop. If you are bloodied and out of surges, this is the potion that you can drink and actually get some healing out of. Otherwise, you can get just a potion of cure moderate wounds, which is 200 gold, which is the same but 2d8 plus 10 hit points instead of your normal hit point value. And if you're bloodied, you can still regain the hit points.
Yeah, 2d8 plus 10 sounds a lot better when my surge value is 13.
Yeah.
And you said they're 200 each, right?
200 for a potion of cure moderate wounds.
Do you think they'll give me a bulk discount on a 6-pack?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I think they will. You can try to barter, or perhaps you can send your more barterous friends. Actually, I think your barterous friend is away, but
Well, Margit's a businessman. He can probably pick up the slack.
Oh, yes.
Well, you're gonna do better than me. Charisma's my dump stat.
Yeah.
all right. Whoever's going to try and do it, just a DC 12, either streetwise, diplomacy, or perhaps intimidate. Tell me how and why you're using each different one.
I can intimidate him.
Alrighty. How exactly can I intimidate this person? What do you
Well,
say?
you see, my friend, fellow trader to trader, this man, he is a construct. If one push of a button, I can have him burn down your entire shop. But, luckily for you, I am feeling magnanimous. Maybe you give us a bulk discount, and I don't press the button, yes?
Alright, make the roll.
Oh, I know.
Not necessary. I'll give you. Here, and he passes a little like old milk bottles used to come in back in the day. You know, the 6 bottles in a little wire basket. 900 for the lot.
Oh, absolutely.
So you get 6 potions of cure moderate wounds and spend 900 gold.
I don't know how to remove that with one hand. Can you pull the 900 out?
1 second. So you can put in the modifier box minus 900 and then drag that onto your gold pieces if you wanted to. That's a good way of doing it. But I've done that for you, so you're 900 low, and I'll chuck in the cure wounds.
Would any other shops happen to have flow form armor +1?
Oh, absolutely. It's not rare, it's uncommon. So, yep, definitely. +1. Yeah, and the word quickly gets around town that there's someone threatening to burn down shops. So when they see a group of adventurers, you know, the sort of typical adventuring party walking into the shop. Huh, I swear, discount for all. And they offer you flowform armor, cloth or leather. What are you after?
Cloth.
So they'll give you cloth flowform for 750 gold pieces.
Sold. How do I deduct 750?
The modifier box underneath the chat, put minus 750 and drag that onto your gold. And I'll chuck in the gold for you.
Okay, I think that did it.
Just basic cloth, eh? None of the cool cloth. So, if the two of you refer to the party sheet, Marielle will have that, Golem will have that. So now this should go. Yeah, cool, that worked. Does anyone else want to do any more shopping? If it's less than rare, you can consider to find it. If it's rare, you'll just need to make a streetwise roll to see if it's available in town.
What? Sure.
Otherwise, we'll consider the shopping continue. If you want to say, have a look later, we can just backtrack and say, yes, you did buy that then. So, have a think as we push on past Berdusk. So, from Berdusk, you travel north. It's probably day 3 or 4 by this point. Probably the start of day 3, as you travel past the reaching woods, arriving in Skornubel, resting, grabbing some more horse food for your horse that hasn't eaten in 5 days, and heading on west to El Terrell. As you arrive in El Terrell, whose character has been here before?
As a well-traveled trader, right? Yeah.
Sure. And El Terrell is a large merchant city. It overlooks the river Chiantar and is filled with merchants, river traders, farmers markets. People bring it in from the north and south. They're big spreaded farmlands. The most distinguishing feature of El Terrell, something which you regale your travelling companions with as you're coming closer, is a brilliant magical light that hovers above it. It illuminates it day and night. The light itself is known to be painful to undead and is visible from almost every corner of Eltergard, which is the name for all of the surrounding sort of little townships and farms, of which El Terrell is the capital. And it appears from long distance, almost as far as Skornubel, as a star or a distant sun. As you arrive here, you're met at the entrance, or rather the entrance to the main city at least, by a number of traders who are all probably related to Morjit, because they have the same sort of selling style. You there! You'd like to buy some cutlery, some crockery, some dishware, some fish, only several weeks old. All sorts of people just regaling you with opportunities to buy and sell, and that's a fine looking sword, sir. Perhaps I can take it from your hands for but a fair measure of gold. And they're sort of picking at your clothing and armor and equipment, and see a few people trying to rifle through your cart, and all just under the guise of, look what you have here to sell. Ha, fantastic. What are these? Shapely rocks nestled between your bottom? Ha, fantastic. I'll buy them.
I am listening, yes.
They offer like pittances, 2-3 gold pieces for pretty much everything, making out like it's a great deal.
How long have we been traveling for?
5-6 days by this point.
Okay, that's good. The eggs haven't hatched yet then.
No. You continue through town. So what are you doing? Where are you headed in Elturel? Are you just how are you going to try and track down these people?
Obviously, you go to the inn, right?
Sure, you can easily find a number of inns and taverns. One that's suggested to you is a tavern called A Pair of Black Antlers. Is the name of it. Yeah, people recommend it. It's pretty decent. There's a few others that they recommend. That's the first one that comes up. Alright, so you head to A Pair of Black Antlers. As you walk in, luckily, your eyes quickly find a one-armed man drinking at a bar with someone who appears to be dressed in a full suit of chainmail with a helm, the mask of which is tilted up so he can pour drinks down his gullet. You recognise Leos and Ilintha standing sitting at one of the tables, drinking with someone. Your good friend, to imagine him with one arm.
I was like, why is my gun sound?
The person he's drinking with, this one here. Jovial in nature. You can tell by the way he laughs and slaps Leosin on the back that he is a loud person.
Where did we meet Leosin before?
Leosin was the monk whom you rescued from the bandit camp. The one who set you on going and clearing out, finding out whatever information you could, and meeting him in Elturel as he tried to get ahead of the cultists.
Oh, must have shell out for a regeneration spell then. Or seen not.
No. No, that was one in Greenest itself, I think.
Sorry, that was a tangent. Continue.
It's okay. Well, you see your friend there. He doesn't appear to have noticed you. None of them appear to have noticed you. In fact, barely anyone pays you any heed. You seem to fit in. There's a number of people here with full suits of armor and weaponry. They've arrived as if they're in the midst of one large adventure or another. And the bartender calls over asking if you'd like drinks.
I'll take a drink.
Yeah, sure.
And you're served quickly. Does anyone want to approach Leosin? Let him know you're here?
Yeah.
So, Morjit then will head up the group heading to fucking Leosin, who sees you and waves you over. Ah, my good friends, you've arrived. Sit. Let me introduce you to Ontharfroom, my friend whom I've talked to you previously.
Yes, Mr. Froome, great to meet you. Yes.
Bloody great to meet you! And he stands up and thrusts his hand out towards you, shaking vigorously if you accept his handshake, before moving on to the next one of each of your party, and two-handed clasp, full body shakes almost. Sit, please! More drinks, I insist!
Is this a social night or a business night? Because yes.
Oh, why can't it be both? First we socialise, then we businessize.
Yes, quite.
So if you accept his drinks, he regales you with stories of his prowess, various campaigns and important missions, and he gestures to Leeson a few times, and this man got me out of a fair few scrapes as well. Leeson sort of nodding along sheepishly. This goes on for probably close to an hour before things start to wind down. He's several tankards deep, and it appears to be having its effect as he starts to slur his words.
Why doesn't you spawn on me?
And he goes, now, my friends, we have important business
No, I
to
just
discuss.
spawned on it.
Yes, yes, we do.
He gestures to someone nearby who approaches, sort of bowed, and you figure him to be Froom's squire, who shows you all to a private space off the tavern's common room, as Ontha sort of bumps and smashes his way, bouncing off every door and wall, making his way into the room. The squire closes the door behind you all and him on the other side. Waiting for you in the room, you see Leeson as well. Ontha sits down, and you see another serious-looking paladin, you assume, based on his religious insignia and gold-crested armor.
Looking like he's got a broomstick up his ass.
Yeah, exactly. His face wears a much more serious expression than Onthar's, and as Ontha plops down, my friends, it's time for that important business from which I discussed about you and discussing it. And the paladin looks wearily at Ontha, says, Yes, it is time to talk business. I'm glad you could meet us soberly, Ontha.
Ah,
Ontha nods. Yes. Sober as a fart. Or something. Leeson, at this point, speaks up and says, So, my friends, what we are here to discuss, at this point, you know almost as much about as we do. And I'm hoping you've brought some information that will, well, shed some light on what it is we're here dealing with. We know something rotten is afoot. We have no formal organization to oppose these cultist rascals. Not yet, anyway. We are working on that. And we need people like you, each one of you, who know how and when to fight, and how and when to keep your heads down and observe. So, we can't promise anything except long days filled with danger and stress, but, in hoping that we haven't lost your attention, please share with us what you've found out. And Leeson waits for you all.
Well, first things first, how much gold do you have available?
Well, personally, I don't have too much, but the Harpers, whom the organization I work for, are, well, they have resources available should the need arise. And Ontha here, he represents the Order of the Gauntlet. That order shares many of the Harpers' principles, but it is a very different organization. They too, I'm sure, have resources to expend. And Ontha nods vigorously. Aye, they certainly do. They paid for the socializing aspect of tonight.
What if I was to tell you if I had something better than information available, but it will cost you a significant sum?
I would say that sounds like blabbery, you bastard. Ontha slurs in your direction.
Blabbery isn't a word, but I like it. May I please use it sometime?
Of course. You want us to pay for it.
Yes.
Hang on, I gotta go AFK for a second. I have a child who's gone missing. They just run off down the drive at the wrong time of the day. Going to play with the neighbors, bastards.
Level 6 is gonna get fun. That's when
I'm
I'm
looking
gonna.
forward to 6.
That's when I'm gonna pick up my feat, where anyone prone can't break. Uh, well, I've grabbed anyone prone, they can't get up because I just got a daily where I automatically knock them prone.
Oh, nice.
Soon I will be able to just pin someone down and repeatedly punch them in the face.
Ah, so you're an MMA fighter. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, kinda. I'm turning into an MMA fighter.
Have to get you your own personal fighting ring. Call it the Octagon.
There's some interesting utility powers at 6 too.
Yeah, I'm kind of wishing I had chosen a different class or at least a different archetype. From now till 20, it's just using Twin Strike. just, just,
I
just love
think
it.
Spite did say that up to level 5 you're allowed to just totally flip the table on your character. So do you want to?
I mean, it's
Like,
not
you
a
might
big
want to talk.
change to go to regular ranger again. I can't imagine.
Yeah, but I'm phenomenally lazy.
I'm not good at it, but I could try to make you a Ranger 5.
Nah, it's fine. I like whining more than actually doing anything about it.
Yeah, but we got a lot of levels to go.
Yeah, only like 15. How long could that take?
How long did what take you, sir?
15 more levels, you know? It can't take that long, right?
Oh, yeah, and I can't take that long. Nah, but for real, if you want, I can totally try throwing.
Although I think level 6 will be significantly better for my character in the Friday game because then I can new form movement.
Uh, I'm good, thank you though. And what type of move?
Turning into a bat and flying.
Oh, oh yeah, you're a vampire, right?
Yeah.
The old turn into a bat and fly away trick.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think next time I'm just gonna make something like a rune priest.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Right, so you found the two organizations they have, the Order of the Gauntlet, the Harpers. Leeson is cautiously saying yes, they have resources to spend. What exactly is it you're trying to bribe them or blabber them with?
Well, my friends, what if I was to tell you I was in possession of soon to be hostages of this organization?
Do go on.
Soon to be, because they're not quite hatched yet, but they'll be of value to this organization.
Hatched? Antha pipes in a second.
Yes, like when a chicken comes from an egg, you call it hatch.
So you've come across some bloody eggs. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, they're not bloody. Well, no, they're not bloody. No, but they are eggs, and they're not chicken eggs either. But I do not want to tip my hand too soon.
The third gentleman here pipes up. Well, it's bloody obvious he's got dragon eggs.
Yes, and I would like you to buy them from me.
Leeson shakes his head. You wish to trade in the eggs of a dragon. They should be destroyed. The only thing they can birth is our enemy.
Well, you see, what if they were metallic dragons?
Then they should be protected. Are
These
they metallic
very
dragons?
rare, of the tabaxiite color. Yes.
Is that anything like black?
I think you up here you call tabaxiite lead. Lead dragons. Yes.
Leeson just stares at you incredulously.
Have you
Lead.
not heard the tales of my homeland, where the great tabaxiite dragons taught us how to forge utensils? Is why all of the goods I sell are made from this marvelous.
All right, they haven't probably discovered lead poisoning yet, have they?
Lead
It is soft
plates.
and malleable. It is great for easily to shape into a spoon, a fork. Marvelous stuff.
Well, unfortunately, Leeson speaks, as much as we would like to help the lead dragons of your people, Morjit, it's not an expense we would be able to justify. If
Well,
perhaps they
alas,
were the eggs of the enemy, we would pay to have them destroyed. But, and he chooses his words carefully, if what you're telling us is true, then they
Partially.
should be protected. Partially.
Can I? Is Golem there?
Can you what?
Yes, Golem's there.
Yeah. Oh, you're all here.
Oh boy. Hypothetically, if we were to be mistaken about the nature of the eggs, and we were to double check and see if it would in fact be better to destroy them, then perhaps we could speak of the bounty for proof of their destruction? The whole time Golem's looking at Morjit like,
I'm nodding along like, yes, you're learning, my friend.
Go ahead and roll me a bluff.
oh boy. That was supposed to roll and it didn't. Hang on. Okay, I don't know why it's not showing up, but that was a 5?
Is it? Are you rolling it onto the chat? Because if you roll it into the middle area, it doesn't roll.
Okay, that's 12.
It's better than a 5. The third gentleman, just offer them the gold. And Leeson nods. Look, no one's buying that you found pewter dragon eggs in the cave of the cult
Whoa!
of the Dragon Queen.
It's nice to be fair.
No one believes it. If you're wanting to hold us over the fire for some measly gold, bring the eggs in, and we'll give you
Vote for
500 gold,
Little force people to use
and you shall destroy them in front of us.
Guys, we are having omelets tonight. Yes.
Oh, Golem is just so happy that this is over and done.
Oh,
I know.
So do you bring the eggs in?
Immediately.
All right.
500 gold each, mate. Come on.
Oh, did they say each?
oh boy.
Then I'll just bring one in.
You bring one egg.
I think this is the point where Golem's like, yeah, okay, this has gone on for long enough, and just grabs both of the other two, one under each arm.
And they will give 1,500 gold.
Nice.
As you place them in front, you see Ontha step up, and he hands over his weapon, which is a large sort of great mace, to Gollum and says, "Have at it!"
I'm gonna drop a flying elbow on the dragon egg instead.
Yes.
All right. What can only be described as breaking 3 eggs with your elbow. They're inanimate objects. You don't need to roll to hit them. You crush the 3 eggs. They are somewhat leathery, but as soon as you break through the sort of the membranes, they just die. There's small little dragon embryos that flap about for a few seconds. Definitely nowhere near coming out. But all 3 are quickly dispatched with, and you're given 1,500 gold pieces. Ontharr, as he's pulling out the gold, says, "This is going to cut into the advance payment fund." And he plops the 1,500 gold. Leeson sort of shakes his head. No, don't be silly. We have yet to convince them to join us. Don't assume they'll join the Order of the Gauntlet just yet. As the eggs are destroyed, he says, "But Ontharr does bring us nicely to our next point, which is, would you each join us in our effort?
Swarms, probably.
The 2," he gestures to Ontharr, "the 2 of us, we represent each the Harper and the Order of the Gauntlet. This man here, whose name he has not shared even with us, represents the Emerald Enclave.
Oh, fucking Jesus.
All 3 of us are bound to thwart the cult's plans, whatever they may be. We offer each of you the opportunity to join us, either in an alliance or quite literally join us. You can, if you'd like, be sworn here as a member of the Harpers, perhaps take the oath of the Order of the Gauntlet, or," and he turns to the 3rd guy, "do whatever the fuck it is that these lot do to join the Emerald Enclave."
You said something about recruitment fund, yes?
Ontharr pipes up, "Aye, there's a small bonus if you sign up to the Order of the Gauntlet, but most of that is, well, you've got it." But hey, if you've got it, maybe that means you should join. Yeah. He's still very drunk.
Okay, I don't know how to put this in non-game terms. What are the alignments of the 3 groups?
Right, so Harpers are a neutral, closer to chaotic group that sort of work in the background politically and sort of legally. They pull strings, do sort of backroom dealings, and probably even go so far as to organize unfortunate timely deaths in order to have things be kept in a sort of a status quo. They are the... Who's that guy from Game of Thrones with the little birds?
Oh, the spider?
Yeah, Varys. Yeah, they're the Varys group. They don't really care who's in charge as long as it's in the best interest of everyone. So they'll probably just keep things how they are. The Order of the Gauntlet are a proud and proper paladin order. Very, very lawful in their dealings. Very open, very well known. The sort of people that if you see them in the streets, you'd be like, "Hail Hydra!" No, you'll be like, "Hey, what's up?" And be able to elicit their services, like, "Hey, my village is being attacked by some baddies," and they'll be like, "Well, that sounds like a job for the Order of the Gauntlet.
Yeah, you can hear it.
You got the money to pay." Yeah, sort of the lawful, goodish group. The Emerald Enclave. Woo, who knows? Actually, let's see who knows. Roll me a history. If anyone knows anything about it. DC 18. Wow, nice. Morjit,
Of course.
you've probably sold stuff to this lot. I'm gonna send you a message in a sec.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my hero point to let Marielle re-roll because
That's so close.
Orjeet's recent track record.
What do you mean?
Boom.
Nice.
Okay,
The hell?
so two of you knowing I'm not gonna PM it. I'm just gonna share with the group. According to Wizards of the Coast, the Emerald Enclave is a far-ranging group that opposes threats to the natural world and helps others survive the many perils of the wild. They are sort of mercenarian, but with more of a focus on nature. A lot of their group is made up of barbarians, witches, rangers, and they will travel the Sword Coast and other parts of the Forgotten Realms, helping people and helping stop things be destroying nature. They are often more isolative than in a large singular organization. Their beliefs, Morjeet and Miriel, you know, are that natural order must be respected and preserved, that forces that seek to upset the natural balance must be destroyed, and that the wilderness can be harsh. Not everyone can survive in it without assistance, and it is the Emerald Enclave that provides that assistance.
Well, I do oppose naturally, because of my family, threats to the natural order of the world. That's more like Lovecraft villains and less like Captain Planet villains.
Yeah.
I guess actually to me, Harper sounds like a good bet.
I will note as well, it doesn't have to be a group decision. You can individually sign up to whatever. And out of character, signing up to each group will allow you to call on that group's resources at later points. So it's not a bad idea to have a mix. So if some of you feel like you'd suit the Order of the Gauntlet, you can sign up for it. Some of you feel like you'd suit the other one, you can sign up for that. They will provide different benefits and services to you all.
I'm gonna sign up with the Emerald guys, cause why not?
Okay.
As long as
With the
there,
Harpers.
yeah, as long as there isn't going to be a foreseen conflict of interests between Marielle and, the Lady Marielle thing and the Gauntlet. Like, I was joking before, but yeah, they had
Yeah, I don't think we should have any issues.
Is it going to be a problem that Golem is kind of a-religious?
Just not getting stories either.
If you're wanting to sign up with the Order of the Gauntlet, probably not a problem, but they will query, they will talk through their beliefs with you. Their beliefs are that faith is the greatest weapon against evil. Faith in one's God, one's friends, or oneself. All are equally important. Battling evil, however, is an extraordinary task that requires extraordinary strength, bravery, and faith.
Do I need a resume? Should I put the CNRF thing on the resume?
You can if you like. You can mention your prowess, and Othar, in his drunken state, will certainly... Oh, this sounds bloody great! I've got faith in you to join us. Haha!
Oh, too many.
Just sign here. Bottom of 20-page leaflet.
And because Golem is a construct, he doesn't get sleepy or bored while reading.
You just machine read it. Scanning. Alright, so you're able to sign up to Order of the Gauntlet, and he will provide you... I have adjusted your gold up. with the sign-up bonus. Marielle,
Is
you
there
talk
any way
to.
we can- Sorry.
Oh, okay. That's alright.
Yeah, I talked to the Harper's guy.
Yeah, so you talk to Leosin, and yeah, he can talk about their beliefs if you like, and their main
Yeah,
sort of
absolutely.
tenets are that one can never have too much information, that too much power leads to corruption if it is concentrated in one place, and that no one, from the lowliest farmer to the highest highborn, no one should be powerless.
I agree with that.
And he offers you a much shorter contract. No, he basically just extends his hand and offers to shake. And then when you shake his hand, you're caught by a small barb, which draws blood from one of your fingers. And you note that he has also blooded his own hand, and you have a blood shake together. It's like a thick shake, but made of blood. It's delicious.
Okay. Once again, good thing I'm not like sort of weird, edgy, undead anti-hero.
Yeah. Just prick your finger and just like decaying matter falls out. Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh, it's dead. Why is it here?
My
Yeah.
hand just falls off.
Ah, we do have many lepers in the Order of the Harpers. Morgit and Flint. So Flint, you wanted to sign up to the Ember Enclave? Emerald Enclave, sorry, not Ember. Oh, Flint's probably gone. Morgit, did you want to sign up to anyone?
Is anyone else offering a sign-up bonus?
Fuck.
You
Oh,
speak
bullshit.
out loud.
I didn't even
Uh,
know them.
Leosin says our bonus is not in money, but in information, connections, and knowledge.
Is anyone offering a sign-up bonus?
The Emerald Enclave guy, we offer the ability to stay alive in the harshest of climates. We offer survival and protection in the most direst of... And there's another yawn as you...
Yeah.
And Antha just holds out a small bag of gold. Yep.
Ah, my good friend Onta. Yes.
He grins, slaps you the bag of gold, which gives you the sign-up bonus as well, 250 gold.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Do I fit the morals that this order upholds? Not really.
Not even a little bit.
Actually, I was, if everyone's kind of done signing up, I was wondering if instead of a sign-up bonus, I could get one of my gauntlets either blessed, or I also have a magic item in mind, but it doesn't really fit the
Which group are you wanting to elicit this from?
the gauntlets.
Order of the Gauntlet? Alrighty. What's the magic enchantment you're after?
I was looking at either the chain reach weapon, which is just rocket punch on a chain. Where'd the other one go? I can't find it. I'm just gonna say chain reach, which is 1,000. I guess we could flavor this some kind of holy blaster.
Possibly. That is 4 times the sign-up bonus, so I'll probably say it's a
Wow.
little bit much.
Oh, hang on. I'm gonna see if I can get a Vanguard weapon instead. That's a level 3.
Oh yeah, charge one.
I'll pay a little bit extra to, fill the difference.
Yeah, so if you want to put 300 towards it, say that's supplying a weapon worthy of their blessing, that they will apply that enchantment for you on that weapon.
Cool. Yeah, I now have a Vanguard spiked gauntlet. And so I deal plus 1d8 damage on any successful charge.
Nice.
Very nice. And Flint, had you
Yes.
you wanted to sign up to the Emerald Enclave?
Yeah, do I need to do some sort of spooky ritual? I'm all about spooky ritual.
All that is asked of you is that you take an oath to restore and preserve the natural order, to keep the elemental forces of the world in check, keep civilization and the wilderness from destroying one another, and help others to survive the perils of the wilderness when you come across them. Till death do you part. Do you take the Emerald Enclave as your lawfully wedded faction?
I mean was basically the entirety of my ranger shit. Yeah, pretty simple.
So you basically hear this and you're like, ha, my heart. So yeah, you take the oath, and you're given a medallion or a necklace that's on a piece of flax rope that he pops around your neck, and in it, on the end of it, I should say, is a small bark sigil. He says, "In the direst of emergencies, simply break the medallion in two, and you will have the aid of the Emerald Enclave at your beck." Doesn't give you any gold. They pause.
Sorry, I kind of missed the last just the last little bit of that because I accidentally pressed the button and disconnected on accident.
Oh, good work. He says, he gives you a medallion. It's a little bark sigil on a flax rope necklace, a flax string necklace. He says, break it in two in the direst of situations, and you'll have the Emerald Enclave at your beck. And cool, good stuff.
Oh, great. I gotta be honest, I was kind of hoping it was one of those like necklaces that are, you know, like a heart that says BFF on it, you know, just kind of, I have one half, they have the other half.
You know what? It is.
Fantastic, thank you very much.
It's your half says best fripp, and the other half that he has says ends forever.
Fantastic.
Oh shit. All right. Now that you're signed up and have taken your various oaths and taken your various monies, you share, I'm assuming, the information you gathered from the cave, the dragon hatchery itself, the cultists' travel.
Yeah, so why not?
Yeah, so you you share it, and thanks to the information you give, this little alliance now knows that the cult is amassing treasure and shipping it north. Where exactly this treasure is going and what the cult plans to do with it are the next two questions that need answering. Froome and Erlintha would like you all to join the cult's caravan and accompany it on the journey. They suggest that you could perhaps get yourselves hired as guards, if not by the cult's wagon masters, then by other merchants who are travelling in the same direction at the same time. Merchants from different companies often join together to form larger trains for protection. Froome also mentions that he has contacts among the many merchants of the region and is certain that he can arrange a job if that's the tact you wish to take. The only problem he brings up is timing. The tracks leaving the cultist camp and the map from Mondath's chamber both indicate that the wagons were heading west to pick up the Coastway Road, where they would turn north to Beregost and Baldur's Gate. This journey is around 550 miles. The wagons would probably take 30 days for that trip, depending on conditions. And they were at least a day ahead of you. Or at least most of them were. So, while you're in El Terrell, you're likely only have about 10 to 15 days to arrive at Baldur's Gate in order to catch the cultists' wagons as they travel north through Baldur's Gate.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, sounds like we're gonna have to join some sort of caravan.
They nod. That is almost exactly what we did just ask you to do, yes.
Oh, I see. And there's 3 orders, from what it sounds like.
Yes. You've joined one of them.
Okay. Just making sure, you know.
Of course.
I
of
get
course.
lost easily.
The Emerald Enclave representative suggests that perhaps sailing the Chiantar River to Baldur's Gate would be the quickest way to get there. Surely only 4 to 5 days, leaving you more than enough time to arrive at Baldur's Gate ahead of the cultists' caravan. But hey, leave it up to you. If you wanted to travel by horse or by cart, probably get there with a few days to spare as well. It's entirely up to you.
I think a boat seems like a good.
Seems like a quick way, yeah.
As someone who does not sinks like a rock, but also does not have to breathe, I'm fine with a.
All right.
Nothing ever gone wrong on a boat ride?
No, nothing.
Nothing.
Do you want to get some horses and take them on the boat?
What do you think pulls your carriage here, mate?
You're gonna bring the horses?
Of course, why wouldn't we bring the horses? What on
Oh,
earth
no.
could go wrong?
No, nothing ever goes wrong with the horses.
Yeah, we've never had trouble with horses before, so why not?
Have you guys named the horses, by the way?
That's a good point. What's everyone's horse's name?
Strawberry.
Strawberry. Good stuff.
Strong back.
Strawberry Strongback? That sounds like a kid's show.
You know, mine's strong back because I weigh like 400 pounds.
We need more names. Flint, name your horse.
I named
Oh,
mine.
sorry, you're Strawberry. Morjit and Marielle, please.
Dog.
Name your corpses.
Thinking.
Glue.
That's a little dark.
Future glue.
Well, it certainly does show the contrast in philosophies in this party.
A little bit.
Okay, Benji's cute.
Benji. It's a good name for a...
Strawberry, Strongback, Benji, and then Dog.
If only it was Bendy, because then it'd be like the horse was called Strawberry, then we put Gollum on it to see if it had a strong back, and then it was Bendy, so we turned it into dog food. It was one horse the whole time, start to finish.
It's momentum with horses.
Alright, so you are all given 50 gold pieces, which are going to cover the cost of the boat hire and supplies and food and whatnot. So I'm not going to put that in the inventory. You're going to have to spend that to not have your horses immediately die and the boat refuse to take you. So that night, Froome also sees that you're all equipped with new clothing and gear, something less obvious that you can wear over your normal armor or whatever. He suggests that you change your appearance as much as you can in simple ways to reduce the odds of anyone in the cultist camp recognizing you, especially following your success over rather success. Your failure to defeat the dragon Cianrath, or the half dragon Cianrath, the first time around. That was in front of the whole cult. So, wouldn't be a bad idea if you're not wanting to be recognised. And the trip downriver to Baldur's Gate is uneventful. It takes around 3 days. However, on the third day, just as you're arriving within sight of the Baldur's Gate, there's a number of boats building up along the river as travelling to and from little, people with fishing boats or people that have farms further up that are transporting their stuff to the various farmers markets. Roll me a d20. Let's see a thing. Ooh, good. You arrive at Baldur's Gate with no issues. The boat doesn't sink. The horses don't die. You unload and there is no tragic tragedy that results in the death of your horses. Much as I would have liked it to have
I'm
happened.
kind of disappointed.
I know.
Yeah, me too. Having some flashbacks here.
I don't know why.
Weren't that wrong?
Did you want to re-roll it? Spend a hero point. So, as you get into Baldur's Gate, it is a bustling centre of trade, with goods coming from north and south by wagon along the tradeway, and by ship on the Sea of Swords. From the east along the River Chiontha, which you arrived, and from Korma and Sembia, everywhere, all of the places. Baldur's Gate is situated on a prominent bluff next to the river, overlooking an excellent natural harbour. The city itself is divided into 3 distinct segments. The upper city, where the richest and most influential citizens live, and where the city's marketplace, called The Wide, is located. The lower city, which surrounds the harbour and where most of the city's merchants live and conduct their business. And the outer city, which lies beyond the walls and where most of the city's labourers reside in conditions that vary from crowded but clean to squalid. What?
What?
Sorry, the door open. From crowded but clean to squalid. Depending on...
we never
hang on.
tried-
Kids
okay,
knocking things over. So, depending on your plan of how you want to get hired by or travel with the Dragon Cultists before they arrive, you have a few days to wait in Baldur's Gate. And yeah, most of that time should be spent figuring out how you're going to get hired upon. Froome has given you the contact of a human trader named Akin Celebon. He operates an equipage business in the outer city, north of the city wall, in a district called Blackgate. He is a prominent trader who sells the material needed for long-distance freight hauling. He sells wagons, rope, netting, grease, chains, wheels, and so on and so forth. His shop also repairs wagons. He is not directly involved in the hiring of guards for caravans, but he knows people who are. So Froome has suggested he would be a good person to get you to vouch for. You get him to vouch for you. So that is a choice that you've been provided with, or you can figure it out on your own 2 feet.
Can I go like hunting for pelts and join as a merc?
Yeah, absolutely. You'll need to probably source your own wagon. You want to use the wagon you brought with you?
Yes.
So to do that into a merchant wagon?
Yeah. I'll go ethically source my own pelts from local wolves.
Ethically sourced, meaning you don't kill them? You just skin them alive?
God.
No, they just
Yeah,
kill humanely. In the single golden.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Yes, exactly. Thank you very much. I mean, I guess I could skin them. They'd still be technically alive, so that is humane. But no, I'll just make just to make sure that it's a painless death. The free range wolves.
All right. Roll me a nature.
Can you roll that for me? I'm on my phone currently and I can't get to my computer.
It's
at
just
the moment.
like
You're the worst. You roll a 22.
See, it's pretty good, right?
So yeah, you skin a few wolves and squirrels and other
where have you been?
animals in the nearby forests that are also highly hunted. It takes you probably most of the couple of days to really get enough to even
Yeah.
sort of pass as a
I've got
pelt merchant.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you get enough. You get
Yeah.
enough to, you know,
I have a
make
bit of
it not
issue
look,
with him as
oh yeah,
well.
I've got this one wolf
That's
pelt that I want to
right.
travel the
So
length of the
last
country
night,
to sell up
Bruce
north.
was
Um,
stoned.
Yeah, it's not
I'm
hard.
talking.
Maybe it's just been a rough year.
Yeah, it could be a very valuable wolf.
I mean, why we're kind of short on the amount? Maybe it's just been a rough year, and so that's why we're kind of looking for supplementary income.
I'm not very bad him, but
Could be.
I just feel like he shouldn't have.
So what are the rest of you doing?
Him.
Flint is organising himself as a
But
pelt merchant
that's his
with which to
maturity, and
travel
that's
with their
his-
caravan.
and I just don't-
I mean, can I just quote unquote hire them as my guard?
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna pay any of
you. Didn't expect it. Golem is going to spend the next couple days figuring out how to not look like Golem.
Just like get some paint yourself a different color. It's fine.
Do you remember that
but Twinkle's fantastic.
dark grey metal man? Well, there's a pink one just like him.
I guess just a mask worked well before. That was joking. I'll just buy a Keaton mask.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I am Baldur Gate's worst dancing performer.
So the worst dancing performer
Yeah,
travelling with the worst
absolutely.
pelt merchant.
And I feel like that issue with
Hey, whoa! I am a very good pelt merchant. Thank you very much.
you know.
Okay.
Good shit.
You can't really judge his first day on the job.
That's true. You haven't had a shit day yet.
I mean, in the span of like 2 days, I managed to get a wagon and furs and pass myself out as a merchant. I mean, come on. Without any starting capital, easy.
Well, what do you expect? You were just winding
Yeah.
up the whole time.
Just started with a small loan of my father for 1 million pelts.
Yeah.
Alright, so, Morjit, are you going to go as yourself?
Exactly.
Are there any dragon cult recruiters around?
Not yet. So the cult itself hasn't arrived in Baldur's Gate. You can try to ask around.
Yeah.
It's possible that maybe they have some people ahead that are organising
Yeah.
stuff, and you can try and suss them out. But the
Yeah.
the caravan itself
Yeah,
isn't
that's
here
why I
yet.
was like, when
I don't need a cover if I join the cult, right?
ridiculous.
It's true.
My cover is joining the cult. Yeah, I'll see if I can find a recruiter or something.
All right. How long do you want to spend trying to look for these people?
The couple days that these guys are out preparing.
Okay. I mean, worst case, you just are a merchant. So.
I am a merchant, but it looks like a...
So on the first day, you don't have much luck. Second day, roll me streetwise or perception. Or nature. That's
or
fine
nature.
too.
You know what?
or neither of
matter.
those things I said.
Perception, there's a 2 more than that. So.
Okay. And streetwise is also fine because you've rolled in nat 20. So after the first couple of days, or sort of towards the end of these couple of days, you start to recognize some of the faces from the cult camp that you saw. You see also a few people wearing robes in similar clothing from those of the cult. They don't stand out too much in Baldur's Gate, but because you're so recently aware of the sort of stuff they wore, you do spot a few cultists. One of the ones that sticks out at you is a group of about 4 cultists that are accompanying a palanquin. How do you say that? Palanquin? No, it's like those litters. Those little carriage.
Yeah. The thrown on sticks.
Yeah, those. The curtains are dropped down, but you have a brief moment as they pass you by where a breeze is just caught the curtain at the right moment that you see well, let me just see if you... Have you guys seen Resme yet?
Yes. I know who Resmir is, like, out of game, and yes, we have seen her.
Okay.
Don't want to spoil.
Yeah, you see a half dragon in there.
Yeah.
A black half dragon that you recognize as Resma from the cult camp. The cultists around do stand out, and it takes you a moment to realize that even in addition to them, you see some disguised bodyguards keeping a close watch over this palanquin as it moves through the city. It indicates that perhaps the forefront of this caravan has definitely arrived in Baldur's Gate.
Let's just approach Resmir, right? You know? Approach the litter.
You want to just approach the litter?
Yeah, if I could... Yeah, bold as bra.
Give me a sec.
Dan's like, oh god, you're going to die.
Golem's on standby to save the party again.
So, you follow the palanquin as you're trying to get close to it, and you note that it is heading towards the north area of the city, and actually close to Celebon's yard. This contact that Froome mentioned to you, being the primary seller of goods, the cultists are heading there. They appear to have a small meeting with who you presume to be Celebon themselves. Some gold is exchanged, and just as they're going to leave, you have your opportunity to approach them. It's not even too far out of the norm. You see other people approaching, offering their services. You see men with large swords slung over their shoulders. I'm here as a mercenary or guard for hire. Just taking the opportunity to propose or proposition to people that are attending Celebons. You know, there's enough caravans heading there for work that it's a pretty good place to try and sell yourself as a guard or mercenary. So you too can approach the palanquin. As you do try to get close, much like the others that are trying to sell their bits, you are stopped by the bodyguards several meters away from the palanquin. Within shouting distance, but, you know, safe enough that you're far away.
I do the claw thing.
You what?
The claw thing?
The claw thing?
With my hands.
Oh, yes, the signal. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, so you do it, and the two guards that are near you sort of exchange glances, and one nods to the other. The first one says, "Righto, what do you need to come and see Resma for?"
Well, actually, you see...
Which caravan are you with? Who's arrived?
Well, yours has arrived, and I wish to join it.
You mean you're not already with a caravan?
Well, no.
So are you... Right, okay. And you wanna tell Resma that you're here, not part of one of the caravans.
That probably doesn't sound a good idea, but between you and me, I just want to sign up. Yeah?
Look, you go and tell Resma that you've been disobeying direct orders, you'll be dead.
You see? Nobody has given me orders yet.
Roll me bluff.
Well, nobody has given me orders yet.
Yes, but roll me bluff anyway.
Oh boy.
Don't roll me a 1.
Okay, I won't roll you a one.
Goodbye, Morjit.
That's better. Look, you got given your orders back at the camp. Just because you didn't pay attention doesn't mean you need to get yourself killed. Be at the caravan. It's parked down on 26th and 7th Street. I don't fucking know.
I'm sorry, we have a hard time concentrating, and I'll bring out like a fork and play lightning on it. We have a hard time concentrating sometimes, yes?
He like clasps his hand over the fork. Go to the caravan. Tell them I sent you. Don't
Okay.
be an idiot.
Yes, yes, yes. What was your name?
Ancilla.
Ancilla. Like ancillary.
I don't know what that means, but my name is
Okay.
Ancilla.
Okay, yes, 26, yes. Okay, thank you.
27th. Jesus Christ. He says, not knowing who that is, because this is not Earth.
Jesus Tiamat.
For Tiamat's sake, get out of here. And he sort of figuratively and literally boots you up the ass to move on.
Sweet, yep, I'll do that.
Alright, so you head to 27th Street. You probably head to 26th first and find nothing and just start going down the streets until you find the cultist caravan. Where you arrive and are quickly, given a position near the cart and told to prepare to leave in the next few days. Be back here by tomorrow evening at the latest.
So, we're leaving tomorrow, yes?
They nod. Should all of the carts arrive, they're due to arrive by tomorrow. We'll leave the next dawn.
Super, gotcha.
Alright, so you have a chance to go and recoup with your team. Yeah. I just need to quickly take a 15-minute bio to put the kids to bed. We're right to come back in 15 minutes.
Okay.
Cool. Back soon.
You know, that was Morjit actually did good. I was like, well, gonna fight another half dragon, I guess. But no, that worked out well.
Yep. That was a clutch reroll.
Also, we'll need to make sure to remember to give. Come on, brain, work with me here. To make sure to give Arthritis a chance to retroactively have joined one of them again.
Testing?
I heard
1, 2, 3.
Alright, just making sure I didn't get disconnected again. There we go. Back in my computer.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I don't know if they're particularly great, but I kind of want one of those psionic feats that like gives you a bonus. But then if you spend like a augmentation point, you get like a bigger bonus.
Bigger bonuses are always good, yeah?
Like, you know how improved initiative gives you like +4 to initiative check?
Yep.
I could take, at least until epic, I could take psionic initiative, which gives me a +3 feat bonus to initiative checks, which is one less. But if I really need to get initiative on a battle, I could spend one power point to increase that to +6.
Ooh.
Goddamn, +6 is pretty good.
Yeah. And sometimes you really have to go first.
Yeah, I mean, especially as a controller, yeah, that'd be very useful.
Although there's another power that, or another feat that I think is only useful if we're really trying to like run away. But one of them is psionic celerity. Whenever you run or charge, you gain a +1 bonus to speed. But if you spend a power point during a move action or a charge, you get another +2 bonus to speed until the end of your.
Huh.
So
Well,
if I were running,
run
oh
away.
yeah,
I think the
if
initiative one sounds more useful because you can also use high initiative when running away.
that is true, and I think it just might be more generally useful. But there's something fun also about having like moving like 22 squares a turn when running. Or wait, what would
flying
it
away.
be? Yeah, like something ridiculous. I'll be right back. God, I swear 90% of injuries in my house are from me making coffee.
It's a dangerous
Oh dear.
task. And welcome back. See, I'm gonna guess it was burn related.
Absolutely. I had to microwave our hot water in the microwave. And when I was pouring it, I like slipped a little bit and poured a whole bunch over the back of my hand. And then I dropped the cup, which caused me to spill the rest. So I had to reheat and make a new thing of water.
I'm back.
At least you didn't drop that one.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Spike.
How are ya? Alrighty, we all back. Press button. We're back. Alrighty. What are we waiting on?
I don't know.
Trapper?
Nope. I'm the one on the most left.
Maria?
Oh, I'm here. I already checked.
Sorry.
Flint?
I
Oh,
thought
yay,
I
there we go.
It didn't go through.
Ah,
So,
cool. It was
yeah.
you all along.
I thought I checked. I was like, I don't know who's not done it yet, but it was me. I'm
Alrighty, so, as we're back, Morgit has managed to successfully pretend to be a cultist all along. Flint has managed to become a fur salesman for show. What is Golem, other than trying to look un-Golem-y? What is Golem trying to do? Was Golem going to be one of Flint's hired guards, inverted commas?
probably, that seems like the best idea.
Alrighty. And Marielle, what is your plan?
I'm gonna go ahead and be an assistant to one of our merchants.
Alrighty. So one of
Might as well
Flint's
have less
lackeys.
moving parts to our plan.
Nice. Alright. With your plan in place. Soon, within the next 24 hours, Morgit, you notice as more and more cultists arrive and begin to rendezvous with the caravan. Eventually, the word goes around to other caravans for others to travel with and, pull security. It's generally expected that caravans heading the same way will hire a few guards each, and then, all together they pose a much more formidable force than others. And quickly, Flint is able to convince, to pull off, I should say, being a merchant with a couple of guards and join forces with the cultists' convoy. There's probably about 12 other single wagon traders and merchants and transporters joining alongside you, and about 12 again carts and wagons, all dedicated to the cult. Quickly figure this, just the looks being shared, the clothing being worn. You recognize a lot of the wagons as the ones that were loaded up outside the dragon hatchery, and the next morning they're all due to take off at dawn to leave Baldur's Gate. Now, this may be your last opportunity to buy and or sell things before heading on a bit of a journey. So if anyone wants to buy and or sell things, everything rare and less is available in Baldur's Gate. Anything more than rare, which I don't know that there is, you can find, I guess, not legendary items.
I
Wondrous.
have 0 money, so nope.
Okie dokie.
I can't wait to sell these furs though.
I mean, I hope you don't sell them before you head, because you need them to pass as a trader.
Well, I meant at the end goal, Spite. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay, I'm with you.
Kind of figured that'd be implied.
Well, you know what they say about implications. It makes
No.
an imp out of licking Asians? I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know, man.
Moving past this, let's head on our journey.
Okay. So, from Baldur's Gate. During the course of this journey, you all die.
Cool.
Who wants to
Sounds
play a
about
different
right.
game? Let's play Out of the Abyss. No.
I'm listening.
Hey, that's next, buddy. That's next. Revisit it all if this one goes well. Continues to go well, I should say. I'm already enjoying it. The first couple of days of life on the road, the stretch of road from Baldur's Gate to Waterdeep is about 750 miles. The convoy caravan.
Play this in real time.
Yeah, it's covering about 15 miles per day, depending on conditions. The animals pulling the wagons and carts probably need 1 day after every 6 to recover from the continuous plodding work. All things considered, the trip is expected to take 2 months. Someone roll me 2d4. So there is 6 non-merchant wagons that join. A few of them are families relocating to the north. One of them is a diplomat on a mission to Waterdeep. And you notice a few other people joining the caravan, just sort of walking, paying a couple of gold pieces for a few hours travel up the road, that sort of thing. Stopping at taverns or stopping at farms. So there's enough of interesting turnaround that the days don't seem to drag too much. You know that the cult wagons contain anything but typical goods that the rest of the caravan does, but to anyone other than yourself, they pass as perfectly ordinary. And they also do well to make sure they don't bunch up. They are spread throughout the entirety of the caravan. Risma and 8 of her guards are seen in the front wagon, which after the first night you notice is considerably lighter and down to only 2 people leading the caravan. It did originally have 4 horses, and 3 of those horses are now gone. The caravan does not appear to be carrying anyone. The first night, it appears Risma left the caravan and rode ahead. The remainder of the cult does not appear to... it does not disappear, I should say. Each of the wagons has a couple of guards, teamsters and assistants. And there's a few key NPCs, which I'll introduce. One of the most outstanding people here is a male human who is dressed in bright red robes, indicating he is a red wizard of Thay. Red wizards are widely disliked and mistrusted. So, he takes the pain of wearing a hat. It has ear and neck flaps, which cover his shaved and tattooed heads, making him look like just a red-robed, perfectly innocent, not at all red wizard of Thay. It's not especially effective, to say the least. Quickly, word travels throughout the caravan that the red wizard of Thay is amongst it, and a lot of people are upset about it. But in the few occasions you have to talk or perhaps see him in passing, he introduces himself as Bara, and he seems nice enough. He seems pretty helpful. He offers to help with any broken wagon wheels or anything like that. One of the wagons up ahead does lose a wheel from its axle and come to a halt, and Asbara is there offering his magical assistance to reattach the wheel should it require it. He says, I'm quite skilled in the basic magics. I could have the wheel welded on in no time. Perfectly capable. Just let me know. No one, unless you all ask for his help, no one particularly takes him up on it. He gets the cold shoulder from most of the people. But he tries his best to mingle with the other travelers.
I'm gonna invite him over for some tea.
Fantastic. So, in one of the afternoons where the
Try to.
animals are being rested, you invite Asbara over, and he is absolutely pleased as punch. He comes over and he brings over a small collection of jars and animatedly describes his various teas: peppermint and lavender and this one is oak wood and rust. Oh, it's just the most delightful brew. And he starts sharing them around and getting all excited about the tea. And as you sit down for your cups, he's so tell me about yourself.
Listen, Morjeet, new beginnings. New beginnings. Yes, hello. My name's Flynn. I'm a hunter and fur trader by, well, trade.
He laughs.
uh, and just heading along to sell my wares. How about yourself?
Well, I am just a normal human man, just traveling north like the rest of you.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
On any particular errand, or is there a reason
Yes.
why you're on the merchant caravan?
Yes, there is. And he takes a sip of his drink and just waits for the conversation to continue.
Would you like to share with me?
Oh,
If it makes you uncomfortable, that's fine. You don't need to. We've just met, but I figured fast friends are.
friends. I like that idea. Yes, I suppose we are sharing tea. We are basically brothers at this point. Can you keep a secret?
Yes.
He leans forwards. He looks around, am a red wizard of Thay.
No.
Yeah, I know. And he lifts his hat and you can see the tattoo, the blue tattoos across his head. And look, you see it?
I do. I've never met a red wizard before.
Now you have.
That's fantastic. I'm impressed, but you seem to be far from your home.
Well, I mean, most Thayans fled the country when that evil lich, says Tam, seized control. But
Right, that's right. Sorry.
no, that's all right. I am just another Thayan expatriate trying to find refuge, hopefully in the north.
I'm sure you'll be able to, a person of your talents will be able to find a job fairly, or make your way as an adventurer. I hear there's always, a need for wizards of talent.
Are you in need of a wizard of talent?
Can I tell you a secret?
He nods fervently. Yes.
I'm actually on a secret mission.
Tell me everything.
Well, I can't
This is
tell you,
amazing.
but what I can tell you is that people, certain people could definitely use the help of a powerful wizard against I'm sure you've heard of them, the dragon.
As you say the dragon cult, you hear a knock on wood, followed by a sharp "Ow, motherfucker!" Coming from one of the barrels just behind where you two are drinking tea. Before Asbara can answer, he too hears the noise and looks up. Who's that? Did they overhear? What did? And he points at the barrel where the sound came from. He says, "Shall we incinerate it?"
No, not incinerate. First, we should find and question whoever it is.
Right. And he stands up and he shouts, "I know you're there, intruder! Come out!" And you hear, "Oh, fucking, all right." And the top of the barrel is popped off. What you thought to be probably, I don't know, grain or some other thing being travelled north, is actually an empty barrel, and out pops a small gnome. She is dressed unlike any other member of this caravan.
It's
Yeah, she pops up, says, "Hello."
What look she's going for? But it sure as hell is a look.
It is a look. She pops out of the top of the barrel, says, "Right, you found me. Well, bloody done. You found Gemna Gleam Silver, sorry. You're too bloody clever. Here's your reward." And she throws a gold coin in your direction, and I'll just be on my way. And pops out of the barrel and goes to walk off.
One moment.
No refunds.
Why were you in the barrel?
It was a game. Yes, and you won.
Uh-huh. Alright. And...
Can I look for any other gnomes in the other barrels?
Yeah, Cole just starts looking around like, are these all bloody gnomes? Is someone transporting gnomes? There doesn't appear to be anyone else hiding amongst or inside any of the nearby barrels or crates. And in fact, the one she was in is half filled with grain, and there is a pile of grain outside. So it looks like she wasn't in this barrel all along, but more half emptied it and took up hiding for some reason to overhear whoever was near.
Listen, Jamna wasn't...
Yep, that's me.
Why don't you stay for some tea and we can talk about it?
I'm sorry, I don't drink from strangers.
Well, we're not strangers anymore. I'm Flynn. You're Jamna. We know each other.
She eyes you wearily. I'll stay, but I'll drink from my own flask.
That's fine. That's fine.
Did you just Forrest Gump her?
I think so.
Hesitant. It doesn't exist yet, so it's not copyrighted.
You just Forrest Gump her.
Locks, box, chocolates. Gonna get.
You're gonna get a gnome.
Stay a while and listen. She sits and waits for each of the rest of you to introduce themselves. As Barra takes the opportunity, "Well, I'm Miss Barra. Nobody else knows this, but I'm assuming you already heard it. I'm a Red Wizard of Thay. It's a secret, though. Don't tell anyone. No one should know." The rest
I am Log.
Beat log?
This is the best.
Pleasure to meet you, Meatlog. That's a strange name, but I'll take it. And she stretches out her hand.
Considering he is made out of neither meat or log.
You know what? I dressed up as Groot.
So you're a log man.
The meat log golem backwards pun is too good.
Yeah. So you say, "Me, Log." And she goes, "All right, Log, pleasure to meet you." Turns to Morjeet. "The furry one? What are you, some kind of dog?"
Yes. Sure, we will go with that. I'm actually a dragon cultist.
What's that? She tries badly to hide her knowledge of... She seems well aware of Dragon Cult, not at all surprised when you say it, more just trying to put on, what's the Dragon Cult?
He's not actually a dragon cultist.
Hey, I signed up. Sort of.
He signed up for the money.
Fair.
Right, we'll come back to you. And she turns to Miriel. "And you? You don't look like you belong with this bloody rebel."
Oh no, I'm just the accountant.
Right. An accountant for a dog, a log, and a pelt farmer, I guess you call yourself.
Every business needs an account.
I'm sorry. Are you aware of how pelts are procured?
She shrugs. I don't know. I usually just steal them.
Oh, okay. They're not. They're not farmed.
So how did you get them?
I I killed the animals and I skinned them and took their.
Ah, like a sheep farmer.
Well, no, you see, sheep farmers don't kill their sheep. They just shear them. Typically,
Oh,
anyway.
how do we get lamb?
Well, some of them are killed for.
She pulls out a small piece of dried meat. This is dried mutton.
Yeah, but they don't. Listen, the point is that there's some lambs or sheep that are killed for meat, and some that are just sheared for their.
Oh no, I don't share. Anyway, back to the dragon cult. You're not involved with them, right?
Who are you again?
I'm Jamna Gleamsilver.
And why are you here?
Well, if your friend there, the furry dog-looking one, is a member of the dragon cult and openly admitting it, well, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm gonna have to kill you.
Listen, he's not actually part of the Dragon Cult. Okay, well, technically is because he signed up with them, but it's merely a ploy to get money out of them. He doesn't actually buy into them.
Right. So, if any of the cultists are just in it for the money, they're okay, and they shouldn't be dealt with. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh no, you can kill them, just not him.
Right.
Well, yes. Let me think. If you kill them, that means I get a greater share.
Yeah, see?
And actually, if you I'd be willing to share with you if you knock off any of my rivals, yeah?
Well, that's what I'm here for.
Your head. Excellent.
Oh, so you're here to kill Dragon Cult?
Nods. That's what I'm paid for.
Let me go and find the richest ones first, and we'll start with that.
She nods. I've been taking stock of some of the other merchants. I mean, they didn't notice me in the barrel, but I can help you point out which one's a which, who's a cultist, and who's, I guess, okay to live.
That would be great, but I have a question. Who's paying you to do this?
She just taps her nose. That's a secret. And I would be no good member of the Black Network if I let everyone. If I shut up now.
Well, think of it this way. Listen, you know Asbar's secret, you know my secret. Now we know a secret of yours. We're all in it together, right?
Shakes her head. Usually I don't like when people know my secrets. I just kill them.
Oh, well, that would. I mean, we have a really nice friendship going, and I think that would kind of put
So
an
you're
axe.
saying that if I go and tell someone your secret, you will murder them, yes?
She looks at you. I mean, I guess so. That
Excellent.
As Barra at this point pipes up, we've all had tea, yes? Did anyone want a peppermint? I'm making another round. And he's stirring over a pot, like doing the Harry Potter style, like stirring a stick without touching it.
Yes, I'll take some.
Fantastic. Peppermints for everyone? And Jamna pipes up, I've got my own, thanks.
So, okay, so you're part of the Black Network, and you're here
Who
to
said that?
kill Dragon Cultists.
She pulls out a little dagger. Who told you that?
Hypothetically, yes.
Yeah, hypothetically, of course.
There's nothing pathetic about it.
No. It was just a very good guess.
Ah, you're cleverer than you let on. She sheaths her little dagger.
I hear that a lot. Now, which merchants were you keeping an eye on that you suspected of being, cultists?
Well, I've been through most of them, and he points back to a group of about 10 of the carts, and you know some of them to be cultists, but she seems to be under the impression that none of that 10 are cultists, which calls into question the reliability of her intel. But she does have a bit of information on each of them, which means if you so wanted to explore some of the other caravans, she would save you some of the time.
Listen, I know that we just met, and you don't seem to be the type to work with others. But perhaps we could help each other out. You gather some info, and we gather some info, and we can exchange what we know.
Right.
Listen, I can assure you that we are all working for the same goal.
She nods. Well, I'm all for that. I need to introduce you to someone. He's a good friend of mine.
Dagger, is it?
She laughs. No. He's not as subtle as this knife. He travels with me, though, and he's come on the caravan under the guise of mercenary guard. His name? Well, I call him Pole. His full name is Solazdik the Pole. And she points back to one of the carts where you see a massive man, 7'5" in height, probably the tallest person any of you have ever seen that isn't of a different race or species. And she gestures and waves over to Pole, and he looks over and all right, and starts walking over. You notice on his back is a large wooden barrel, sort of slung over his back. He's got straps around as if they're like a backpack. He says, usually that barrel's where I hide. Thing is, I wanted no one to know my relationship to Pole. He's a good friend. And until I knew your standings, as it were, didn't want you to know who he was.
Well, that's good, looking out for your friends is always a good.
She nods, and as Pole arrives, he comes over and he says, Jemna, you want in the barrel again? She shakes her head. No, Pole, I'm just wanting to introduce you to, well, you lot. And he says, hello, you lot. I'm the Pole.
Me, Log.
He nods. G'day. Jemna explains that from his original tribe in his homeland of the Shah, Sulazdig translate to tall as a lodgepole. Since he's come to the Sword Coast, he's just known as the Pole, because he's as tall as a pole. That's 7'5".
Is there a lot of 7'5" poles around?
There's at least one.
Okay. Yes. Hello, I'm Flint.
Flint, Log, Pole. We're trying to light a fire.
Can I stop doing the work now?
What was that? Sorry.
Can I stop doing the Log voice now?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm gold.
No, you gotta keep it up the whole time.
That's the rule of accents. That's why I'm still doing Frulam 6 years later.
It's true.
So with the oh, okay, good. With the introductions done, Jemna informs you that the only person in this entire caravan that she trusts, even now, is the Pole. And Pole nods and says, the only person I trust is the Pole too. But you all seem okay. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's fine.
Alrighty. And with that, I think we're going to end there as the first couple of days of travel down. I'm going to share with you a list of sort of like a dramatis personae of who Jamna has been able to get information on, and also who you've been able to interact with in the first couple of days of the caravan. It'll be in Discord, so you can have a peruse over and decide if there's anyone you want to interact with next session or in the next couple of sessions as you're traveling. And these are sort of NPCs that'll pop up as well. There's no spoilers in them, so there needs to be no spoilers in them, so it'll take me a little while to make sure. But I'll share that, and with that, and combatless session has occurred, and I both apologize and also really enjoyed it, so I hope you all did too.
I enjoyed it too, definitely. Also, I enjoyed not having the fight without our healer.
Yeah, that's true. It does work out well. But yeah, so I'll call that the end of the video.